Hello and welcome everyone. You're tuned into the Wildcat Sanctuary, and it is a wonderful, wonderful Monday to be joining some of our rescued residents living wild at heart. Lauren Kramer, 200 stars. Thank you for that. Good morning, Lauren Elizabeth Lynn, Rosie P. Good morning, all. Good morning to you, Rosie. Hey, Inyata. Shouting out Timber as well. Kristen Hurt. Hey, Kristen. Let's see who else is joining us on this magnificent Monday. Morning, Lauren. Thanks again for those stars. Hey, Ellen Simmons. Lynn K. Hey, Lynn. How was everybody's weekend? Hopefully great and wonderful. It's fall. Certainly fall weather here in Minnesota. And I can imagine fall is kind of turning on its switch a little bit more around the United States as well. Hey, Andy Pitcavage, thank you for the 200 stars. Let's see who else is joined in here. Rexon is here. Hey, Shannon Swaggart. Good morning, Kendra Saro. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Ellen Simmons pointing out beautiful Sofi and Kimba. That is right. Mr. Sofi and Kimba enjoying some of the sun that we have shining rather bright today. Kind of crisper air, but man, that sun is still pretty concentrated this time of year. And Sofi and Kimba, like many of the cats, we're going to do a little bit of a sanctuary stroll here. Like many of them are taking in that sweet, sweet vitamin D. Hey, Tanya from Ohio. Good morning, Lisa Kimball. Hey, Marilyn Grant. Thanks for checking in today. Ooh, Eileen Dunnan, thank you for the 200 stars. That is a great way to start a live post. Linda Oseman, saying hi to the cats. Hey, Maria Stahl. Kenyatta asking about Mr. Kimba. And so by now, I'm going to zoom out to Mr. Sofi and Kimba. They got the perfect spot right behind the rocks, too, here in in the far reaches of their habitats. But we're going to hang out right here because we know that Sofi and Kimba can be particular about their space, and we always like respecting the wishes of our rescues here at the Wildcat Sanctuary. But by now, you might have seen an update that we gave on Lion Kimba yesterday. It would have been 2 summers ago, Lion Kimba had one of his eyes removed. And we had suspected that maybe Kimba sustained an injury on one of those eyes. We were able to surgically remove it, and Kimba's been no worse for the wear, and you guys have seen him on live posts and photos. He's able to navigate his habitat and get along just fine with his one eye. But unfortunately, as of late, we've noticed that Kimba's other eye seems to have some degeneration to it, which leads us to that unfortunately it perhaps was not an injury in the first place that left his eye in that condition, is that he has a degenerative issue. And it's also worth reminding and acknowledging that Kimba's 17 years old, and he's considered a geriatric cat here at the Wildcat Sanctuary. So here, to have him developing some of these eye issues and now realizing that they're degenerative eye issues, that means that we need to step in and be proactive to make sure that we can help ensure the health of Kimba's other eye. So knowing that you guys probably haven't seen Kimba and Sofi on a live post in a week or a couple weeks at least, and Sofi and Kimba have been shifted into their shift yard and indoor bedroom, and that was because caretakers were needing to give Mr. Kimba eye drops, daily eye drops. Man alive, how asking what is it like giving eye drops to a lion? Well, you know, our expert caretaking staff makes that type of thing look easy, but when Kimba is feeding, tongue feeding, they're able to administer eye droplets for Mr. Kimba there. But again, it's always kind of hard to come to terms with our cats aging, and knowing that Kimba's 17 years old and that we're starting to see signs of this degenerative issue in his other eye. It's definitely sad and something that we're taking into account. I mentioned those eye drops. We're moving into winter here at the Wildcat Sanctuary, and obviously we want to make sure that Kimba is going to be able to navigate his habitat safely and just be able to enjoy his days just like he would any other day. And so caretakers are going to be modifying their shift yard, going to be making it a little bit more concentrated for Kimba, and making sure that, again, he's going to be able to have his outdoor time and be able to safely navigate his habitat as well. So we're just kind of giving the debrief on Mr. Kimba there. And if you're just joining us, welcome, welcome, welcome. It's a wonderful Monday here at the Wildcat Sanctuary. It's great to see Lion Sofi and Kimba, two of our rescued residents, enjoying a little vitamin D time in the kind of far reaches of their free-roaming habitat. I always love how the cats are like sundials. So you'll see Sofi and Kimba here maybe kind of around this time this morning, and we come and check back in around maybe 3 o'clock and then 5 o'clock. Well, they've made a full rotation around the habitat. It's pretty incredible. But let me catch up on some comments here, and I'll answer some comments about Sofi and Kimba. Looks like I'll have to hold it higher here, and then we're going to get into a sanctuary stroll as well. I see Tiger Logan behind me, and it'd be great to see him on a live as well. So let me scroll up through the comments here. Tracy F. saying, so Sofi and Kimba were born at a zoo in South Africa and made their way to Argentina and then to TWS. That's correct, Tracy. Sofi and Kimba were born in South Africa. You actually heard Tammy kind of touch on it during one of Aurora and Alana's live posts, their Spay Day live posts, just kind of talking about white lions and how populations of captive white lions in South Africa are at a surplus, and often with those cubs being sold and ending up at zoos. And Sofi and Kimba being two of those cats being sold from South Africa to Argentina, and then obviously with our Argentina rescue happening in 2018, that would have been 7 lions, including Sofi and Kimba. So to think about all of the things that 17-year-old Sofi 17-year-old Kimba has seen in his life, being born in South Africa, going to Argentina, and now here at the Wildcat Sanctuary. That's quite a legacy, Mr. Kimba. I can echo that comment, Kathy. It's just amazing. Not 100% how TWS does it, but another sanctuary. Oh, we're talking about putting eye drops in Kimba's eye. But yep, exactly. We do our tongue feeding, which you guys are familiar with. And Kimba's going to come up and be able to take a piece of food from that tongue. We have a pretty elongated dropper, and that dropper is going to allow us to administer it in Kimba's eye. Might not be a clean drop, a single drop shot, but still making sure that Kimba's getting that eye medication administered properly. Somebody asking, how old is Sofi? Darn it, Timber, if you maybe have the age list handy, and you could look up Sofi's age. I don't have it off the top of my head, so I apologize about that. Looking at a few more comments here, and I'm slowly gonna make my way across the way to see if we can grace Logan with our presence. We all love seeing Tiger Logan and hearing how he's doing. And Logan's doing good. He's doing what Logan does best, and we're happy to see that. That is always an indication that a cat like him is doing okay emotionally. We know that Logan lost his companion Caesar about a month and a half ago, or 2 months ago. And as long as Logan's still stalking me and letting me know that he's the boss and the king of the castle here in his habitat, that's always an indication that Mr. Logan's doing just fine. And Zeke has been kind of lying on his back there for a moment, and I was hoping to maybe catch him. Hey, Leanne, saying hi to Logan. Look at all the highs to Logan, Mr. Logan, Mr. He says, yes, sirree. I can tell he's definitely keeping an eye on the paparazzi here. Have no fear, Henyatta. I definitely, talking about when I walk through the ditches that I might fall. I'll tell you what, I walk through those in the winter and I don't realize that they're plowing snow in there. Usually I end up in about waist deep of snow in those ditches. All in all, it's a wonderful week to be living wild at heart, everyone. I'm happy to have everyone with us on this live post. Got to talk a little bit about Mr. Kimba. And certainly Griffin will be giving everyone kind of updates on the construction of this modified space they're going to be making for Kimba that he'll be able to use over the winter months. Yes, I see you, Mr. Griffin. Well, we had our morning meeting today and kind of talked about some future objectives, which are exciting. And another thing that I'm looking forward to, and you guys know that we were able to have Bruno and Fiona. They officially moved to Wildcat Pines, and I just can't wait to keep on checking in on those two and documenting Fiona and Bruno and their relationship blossoming. And I wonder if Mr. Griffin will let me film his brother enjoying his perch and platform with some of the fall colors. He says, nope, I'm going to stalk you instead. Well, that's life, Mr. Griffin. Let me catch up on some comments. Hi, GQ Griffin, says Faith Warner. Oh, yes. Are you Mr. Handsome? Had a little bit of a windy weekend, but the fall foliage is still present. Might be able to see some of it behind Griffin here. Or, excuse me, Dimitri. Is that how it's going to be today, Mr. Big Bad Griffin. He says, I don't know, Mr. Paparazzi, unless you have treats. We can add a few comments here. Saw Timber answering Sophie's age, and so Sophie is also 17 years old. Shame on me, Judson. That should be easy to remember. So both considered geriatric cats, and is really just a good example for a majority of our population here at the Wildcat Sanctuary being senior geriatric rescues. Just makes us feel extra thankful for things like our on-site hospital, things like our vigilant caretaking staff who are being cognizant of things like monitoring Kimba's eye and making sure that he's going to be getting what he needs, and anything from those eye drops to adjusting his habitat. It's certainly something special, and it's just one of the many aspects of TWS that we pride ourselves on, and it's an aspect that you guys make possible. Look I see a black leopard mingling around his habitat. That'd be the one and only Shazam, so maybe he will let us spend a few minutes with him. And then obviously we had our spay day last week, and I can only imagine that everyone's curious on how everyone's recovery is going. And at Huddle this morning, caretakers had just good things to say. Everybody's recovering well. They're eating their food, taking advantage of their enrichment options like watching TV. Hey, Mr. Pretty Boy, I'm going to kneel right here, which is awesome to hear. Speaking of hearing, I can hear you, goofball. Oh, Faith Warner asking an update, please, on the space. I just walked through it, but everyone's recovering just fine. Caretakers are making several check-ins a day on each of the cats. And they report that they're eating well. Doesn't look like there's much swelling or inflammation. And that, again, they're taking advantage of those enrichment options like watching the cat TV. And I loved, we included it in the update, and Teresa was explaining to me that Aurora and Alana, they were shown, like maybe a Nat Geo show or something on the Discovery Channel where there were lions or tigers, and of course Alana and Aurora, the consummate stalkers, the consummate predators, went into predator mode when watching the TV. And obviously with those two girls recovering, we don't want them to be pouncing at their TV on the other side of their indoor enclosure. So it looks like Alana and Aurora will just be enjoying cartoons and human television. Catch up on some comments here. And welcome if you're just joining us. We've been having a nice sanctuary stroll today, doing some cat updates, including Lion Kimba. We were talking about the spay days last week. That is Leopard Shazam, who, as I kind of pointed out, just like Sofi and Kimba, are enjoying that sweet vitamin D. It's a kind of mild fall day here. That sun's still really concentrated, and that can only imagine how good it feels on that gorgeous black coat of Shazam's. Let's get into the comments here. It might have been a confusing angle, somebody asking if Griffin and Logan are in the same enclosure, but no. Griffin is part of the Tiger Trio, so he's with his brothers Dimitri and Zeke. Somebody asking, were Sofi and Kimba litter mates? No, they were not litter mates. Yeah, of course, Faith. All about the updates. And that helps give me something to talk about during live posts, is you guys asking questions and getting those updates. Not only is it giving me something to talk about, but you guys are entitled to that, given the support you give. So always ask, always wonder, and I'm here to answer. That's certainly something I love doing, Shazam. Oh, hey, Kay Broughton, giving 200 stars and writing a really sweet message. Such a beautiful and glorious animal Griffin is, so stately. Hard to believe that he's a bit older. Thank you so much for the incredible care you give. Hey, Kay, and thank you again for that 200 stars. It's such a sweet comment. I'm pretty happy, Mr. Shazam. You've been Mr. Comfy Cozy laying on the ground like this. Hi, Heidi Larkins. Caught you on a live, you said. Just got off work. Love to see the kitties in the morning. Well, happy to have you, Heidi. Absolutely wonderful. It's Mr. Shazam enjoying his morning, just like you're about to be doing. And he's got his dog loo, which is certainly one of his favorite hangout spots, but I can only imagine, oh, what? I hardly see you over here, pretty lady. This is a fun spot for you. And I can only imagine Shazam's counting the minutes until Polina has recovered from her spay surgery and he can fawn over her over their shared wall. Now, this is a fun spot, everyone, and I know that everyone is kind of tuning in to our live posts, and we get to see Leo and Mansa a lot of the times taking up real estate on their perch or platform. They really like that far corner where they can keep an eye on caretakers. But this is a fun little area under these kind of two smaller trees. Maybe you were wanting to get a little Shazam time in today, pretty lady. Hey, Pandora P. Holy cow, we're at 2,500 stars. That's a very generous day for the stars, everyone. And speaking of which, Torben giving 50 of those. Thank you, Torben. Bree MacArthur. Howdy, Bree. Almost missed the tag. And Pandora P is here. Hey, Pandora. Ashley Conway's here. Love seeing the kitties in the morning, too. Awesome, everyone. Let me tell you what, I love these live posts. Someone giving 1,000 stars. Casey, thank you for that. Holy buckets. What a generous day for the stars, everyone. Carol Lawrence is asking, how do you administer eye drops to a lion? And so caretakers are able to successfully and safely administer the eye drops for Kimba during feeding. And you guys are familiar with our tongue feeding method, and that allows us to get within a close proximity of Kimba where we can use an elongated dropper to put those drops in. Hey, Julie Robbins. Someone heard the hum of a UTV. Yeah, I'm Beverly Lawrence, and I'll have to address this live because I've been seeing some people mentioning it in the comments when I get off the live, and certainly not a feature that I am able to toggle on or off, but it looks like people are experiencing ads during the live post, that there are ad breaks during the live post while I'm live, which is no fun. Who wants that? I don't. I am trying to think why that could be the case. I haven't toggled the feature every time I go live. I'm not able to have any type of advertisement settings where I can toggle features like that. Hoping it's not something that's just automatically built into our Facebook page, but we'll have to take a closer look at that. I apologize if it's getting on anyone's nerves. A commercial during a live post. It's not network television, Mr. Shazam. And of course, everything that you see here is brought to you by your support. So maybe it should just be ads of you all. Yeah, look at that. Everybody has been battling those ads. So sorry about that, everyone. That's no fun. It ruins screenshots, says Jessica Wynn. I don't like that. Yeah, we need those screenshots for our group page, Mr. Shazammers. Off you go, pretty boy. Grumbling away. Alright. Alrighty. Well, it's fun seeing Miss Monza hanging out back here. Maybe she's getting a little me time in from Kimba. Really gives you an idea for the pace of life for our cats today. Sofi and Kimba chilling out. Look at that, 3,600 stars. It is a pace of life that's afforded through generosity like those who've been supporting us today. That's so awesome. Awesome. Let me see if I can catch Bobcat Bella, who's across the way. And Bella, I know, likes taking advantage of her indoor bedroom, so she's still curled up inside. Typical Bella. We'll find out. Oh, here's Mr. Leo from afar. He said, "Where's my sister go? Where'd my playmate go? Alrighty. Open service-wise, things have been going smoothly as well today, everyone. Seems like it's been a pretty smooth journey so far. Have a chance at maybe seeing Bobcats Henry and Haley, which I'd also love to come across those two as well. You can see a lot of big cats on. Hey, Mr. Henry. He says, "Ask and you shall receive." Here's Bobcat Henry. One of the kind of the smaller medium cats. I'm in a big cat world down here in kind of the main portion of the sanctuary. Henry is one of our wild-born residents. Henry living with Bobcat Haley, who is also a wild-born cat. Both of them needing sanctuary at around the same age, coming from two different places, two different sanctuaries, and being able to live now in harmony at a Wild at Heart Life here at TWS. And there is one of the main huntresses of the Wildcat Sanctuary, Haley the Bobcat. You can see in her free roaming habitat, she's got plenty of tall grass and bushes, plenty of places for her to chase all the crickets and grasshoppers and field mice. I can always count on Haley enacting that prey drive and pouncing or leaping. It's especially something just it makes you laugh in the winter. She kind of does those big pounces into the deep snow, kind of like you'd see those foxes doing in the winter. It's pretty something cool. Roberta Dietz saying, I liked the aerial shot of the sanctuary. Isn't that so cool to kind of get a reference as to, where's Judson right now? I'm mentioning, I'm in wild woodlands or feline meadows. And, not only the reference, but you're right. It's just plain beautiful, too, being able to see all of the natural splendor, as we kind of phrased it in that in the copy of that post. There's so many beautiful trees and some small creeks, and give some perspective as to how remote we are and also just how peaceful of a setting it is for our rescues. And I would curl around that edge of wild woodlands, but we know that Polina's not out. I didn't see Tarek in his yard. And then Alyssa, she's recovering in her indoor bedroom as well. So maybe we'll see what Dash and Daisy are doing, and we can kind of wind things down from there. But I'm happy to see that our viewership has kind of been hanging out at around 120 viewers. Facebook has been a little unkind, and it seems like our live post viewership has not been as strong as we like it, but nonetheless, happy to be out here regardless. It's one of my favorite times of the day, as I often say. Faith says, yes, Dash and Daisy. Look at that, Holly. Saying, that October sky, blue sky with golden trees, my favorite things. Your leaves are really changing this year. They are. It needs to be a little colder for you in Iowa. You're right. I mean, it was kind of I feel like things happened pretty fast around here. We got a few of those cold, crisp nights, and that just really sent things into super speed, and they got very colorful very fast. I can tell that maybe we had some strong winds recently that have stripped away some of those pretty leaves, but nonetheless, it is magnificent. And you're right, the contrast of that blue sky and the vibrant leaves, that just screams fall time for me. And I love, love, love it. Well, wouldn't you know, Daisy's hiding behind her door here, and she's as invisible as invisible can be, in her eyes at least. Yeah, Ellen Simmons, that's what I was saying. You thinking the leaves changed overnight. It was very fast. I was happy that I got my drone up. Woohoo! I was happy that I got my drone up when I did. I thought we were walking this way. I kept walking. I was happy I got my drone up when I did, because, yeah, they have come in full force. A lot of leaf peepers heading up. Now, Miss Daisy. A lot of leaf peepers heading up to the North Shore, which is certainly a fun area to check out the fall colors as well. So 35 was definitely busy this weekend. Let's go over and see what Mr. Dashers is doing. Goofy? Goofball? Look at this. Hi, Daisy. Everybody's saying hi to you. Julie Robbins says hi. Let's go see what Dash is doing. Christine saying, here she comes. I think we need another here she comes. Always ready to stalk, ready to pounce, ready to remind us that Daisy's a tiger. Speaking of another tiger who's ready to remind us that he's a tiger and nothing but, I'm being stalked by Dash. Saw a wiggle butt as I was walking over here. Scrolling through a few comments here. Hey, that's fun. Danielle, your daughter, has her first birthday, or fourth birthday, excuse me, and she loves lions. Well, I sure hope she's been watching this live post. It's been chock full of lions. Looks like you're going to rewatch. That's absolutely wonderful, and I love hearing about the birth of young Wildcat advocates as well. That means so much to us here, and it means so much to cats like Dash to think that he's going to have young and empowered and educated people looking out for him in the future. That makes me so happy, Dashers. Isn't that something special, Dashy? And so this is, kind of, very typical of a stalk. And Dash, being a predator, he's looking for his window of opportunity. So right now my body is pointed at Dash. My eyes are looking at Dash. So Dash knows that, well, if he were to stalk, if I were to treat, the predator I am, if I were to go after my prey right now, well, they might get away. They're looking at me. They're paying attention. But if I just turn my body movement a little bit, and even if I were to turn around, I see that you guys can see that Dash has already kind of stood up. And so all I had to do was just turn my body, turn my shoulders just a little bit. And Dash can see that I'm vulnerable and that it's his time to pounce. And so definitely, an entertaining moment, but also a very educational moment, and kind of plays into the type of training that we have here for the animal care staff, for the interns, and how we're never turning our backs to cats. We're always walking back and then turning around. But then also just, again, hammering home how much of a predator Dash is and how much he views me as prey. But in the end, we think it's entertaining, but boy, oh boy, would I not want Dash or Daisy or any of the cats to get a hold of me after they've completed one of their stalks like this. So Dash is frozen in time. And if I, again, just turn my shoulders a little bit there. So that was a very educational opportunity, cutie pie. Wow. I've got one tiger. I've got two tiger. Both special in their own right, aren't you, Dash? Yeah, that was pretty fun. That was pretty good kind of learning moment for everyone, and kind of understanding about how animals like Dash, these wildcats, these predators that are hardwired to have these functions, well, they don't turn it off. And that's why they're not domesticated, they're wild. Isn't that right, pretty lady? Definitely mastered the stalk, says Ellen Simmons. I think you are right about that. It's certainly been a pleasant day, everyone. We started off the live post with Sofi and Kimba. We had a little bit of Logan time, which was nice to see what Mr. Logan was up to, hanging out in his free roaming habitat. Checked in with the Tiger Trio quickly. Dash says, this guy's about to wrap up the live post and leave? Not until I keep him here a little bit longer and play with this toy. Woo! Off he goes with a chuff and a zoom. We got to see Leo and Mansa, Mr. Shazam, and of course coming over and really just gilding the lily, aren't we, with Dash and Daisy. So it's been a really pleasant day, everyone, and an informative live post as well. It gave updates on the spay days last week, as well as talking about Mr. Kimba, an update on him and how he's been doing, and how we're going to be making some modifications for him as we move into winter in his geriatric age. But hey, everyone, we did it. It's Monday. I'll tell you what, I'm having one of those Mondays. Forgot my computer halfway to work. I need to dial it in a little bit. Maybe I need a cup of coffee. I don't drink a lot of coffee, Dashers. I need your type of focus and energy. Wow! Holy buckets! Off he goes. I think I will have to vicariously steal some of that energy today, Dashers. Well, hey everyone, I thank you for tuning in today, as always. Daria, let me answer that question real fast. Empty pool, is pool season over? That is correct. Pool season is over. We decided to close things up. Believe it or not, we had some temperatures getting into the 30s. You're over in Illinois, so you guys might have even had some cooler temps like that, but alas, Dash, pool season is over. I always get a kick at how much the cats still use their pool outside of pool season. Dash has got a toy kind of sitting in the bottom of his pool now. It's going to fill up with snow eventually. He's going to use it to roll around in. We were just talking about Dash's stocking. He's going to use that as a strategic stocking point. The pool gets lots of fun even outside of pool season. All right, everyone. Have a great rest of your day. And thank you so much again for making living wild at heart for so many possible here at the Wildcat Sanctuary.